Good afternoon and welcome to my channel. My name is Frankie and thank you for tuning in. If you could please like and subscribe, that way I can get this information to more people who are interested in doing Amazon Flex. So previously I made two other vehicles. One was just the basics and getting started with Amazon Flex. Then I made a video about 10 pros to why you should give Amazon Flex a try. If you haven't tried it before, like I said, it's an experience. If you don't like it, then you can easily do some other gig job that you are satisfied with, but I personally like Amazon Flex. So this video is going to be about 8 cons to driving for Amazon Flex. Now, this is not me trying to deter you or tell you not to do it. I'm just saying watch out for these things so that you're not surprised in case some of them happen to you while you're out doing a delivery or such. Now, the first reason that I consider a con for that you need to look out for if you're going to do Amazon Flex is not finishing your route on time. And the reason this is important is because when you're scheduling your day, you have to put in some wiggle room just in case things go wrong. So for instance, in my area, you can get stuck behind a train, or you can get stuck behind a school bus, or something else that you didn't calculate could cause your 3-hour route to be 3.5 hours. And then if that takes place, it might get you frustrated or mad, but it's not a perfect world and things happen. There are going to be times when you finish 30 minutes early. And then there's also going to be times when you finish 20 minutes after the time you were supposed to be scheduled to finish. So I just want you to make sure you calculate your time and make sure you put some wiggle room in there just in case anything happens. You might even have another block set up for immediately after you finish that block. And now you're late for that block because this block had a little bit of a delay in it. Next is pets. Now, I love pets just like everyone else. I've had several dogs in my life. I even grew up with a cat. But pets can be an issue as well whenever you're doing your route. So, for instance, someone's instructions could be to open their gate, go inside of their gate, and then set the package in front of their door and then take a picture that way. But be careful, because what if they have a cat or a dog and you accidentally let that animal out? Now you're going to be wasting time trying to chase an animal to get them back in, or you're going to say, well, I'm not going to go chase them. They're not my pet. They should have took care of that themselves. But what they're going to do is they're going to report it and give you like a bad review. That doesn't mean they're going to deactivate you, but it's a possibility that it could be a little tick like on your record. So keep that in mind whenever it comes to pets. And not to mention when it comes to dogs, you don't know if a dog is going to be aggressive or not, or any other animal they have that could possibly be aggressive. So just keep that in mind. Always know what your surroundings are and make sure you're in a safe environment so that you're not putting yourself at risk. So number 3, I want you to make sure you pay attention to is maintenance and gas. So I did mention this in a previous video as well, but if you have a gas guzzler, then this might not be the right thing for you to do. I know you still want to make money at the end of the day, but if you're spending so much in gas that you're coming up with a negative than a positive, then it's not the smartest thing to do, and you might need to figure out something else to where you're going to make more money and then your gas is actually worth what you're doing, as well as the maintenance. So with most vehicles, you're going to have to change the oil. You're going to have to pay attention to the threads on your tires. You're going to have to check your brakes. Just normal wear and tear that comes along with the vehicle, as well as the value decreasing based off of the amount of miles that you're adding to the vehicle. So I just want you to keep that in mind whenever you decide to choose what vehicle you're going to use to do gig jobs such as Amazon Flex, because it could definitely impact the amount of money that you bring home at the end of the day. So number 4 is no blocks. So the reason I say keep multiple streams of gig work available is because one might be empty and then you're not able to do that, but you were solely relying on that one. So sometimes I'll go into my app and there'll be no blocks available in my area or even at all. It'll just be completely blank. So when that happens, you do something else. For instance, I do notary, which I'm going to make some videos about that soon. I do Uber and Lyft, and I don't mind those at all. I just like to go out at certain times. That way it makes it more worthwhile. And then also I have other things going on as well. But don't make Amazon Flex your primary hub and nothing else. And then when it falls through, you're angry because now you can't make the income that you're relying upon because the blocks are no longer available. because sometimes they do dry up and you just have to wait, and sometimes it'll take a day or two. And I've even seen it go as long as a week before I saw anything that was on there that was in my area. Okay, next is, now this may seem so basic, but try not to go out if you're hungry and thirsty. I always keep a couple bottles of water with me so that if I ever get thirsty, I already have something to drink and I don't have to make stops, because those stops can delay you and cause you to not finish your route on time, or just put extra barriers in your way, which you don't need. You want to get it done as quickly as possible. That way you can make the most of your time. And then the same with being hungry. So sometimes, like my previous video, I was up at like 4 in the morning, and you're not gonna go and make a whole breakfast. But I do keep like a fruit and nut mix in my car so that anytime I'm hungry, I can just nibble on that, and it gets me through the day. So, you know, I make my own. So I bought the container, I buy the big packages, and then I mix it myself, because the ones I buy from the store doesn't fully have what I want in it. So I make my own. And that way I'm never hungry. I always have something to nibble on until I can make it to an actual meal at home or something of that nature. So I just want you to be mindful of that. Try not to go out hungry and thirsty, which also leads me to my next one, which is bathroom breaks. Bathroom breaks can really delay you, especially when you can't find a bathroom. For instance, I was just telling you how sometimes I do the early morning routes, and then you can't just stop by a 7-Eleven because a lot of them are closed. Or not only closed, some places you'll go into and then you can't even get into the bathroom. They'll either lock them, or I've had situations where they couldn't find a key. So I always try to use the bathroom before I leave home, get it out the way so that it's not an issue later. There are bathrooms located at the Amazon Flex facilities where you go and pick up your blocks and your packages that you're gonna be loading in your car. But I've been to some that weren't really the cleanest, so you can use those, you can take that chance, or you can just use the bathroom at home, and then you should be good, and you don't have to worry about that delaying your time as well, because when it comes to situations like this, your time is everything, so you have to keep close calculation on how much time you're spending and how much you're wasting so that you can get these deliveries out on time. All right, so now we're at number 7, and number 7 is gate codes and building codes not working. So your phone is gonna be your main tool whenever you're doing Amazon Flex. And some places they're gonna have a little key in the box, and that key is saying either it's gonna have a gate code in it, and sometimes it's gonna be the numbers that you type in, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's gonna be you just hold your phone up to it, and then it's gonna open the gate automatically. Well, it also has that same feature when you go to like a mail room or gaining entrance into their building, where you'll have that feature where you'll hold the phone up to it, or sometimes you'll have to type in something. Sometimes these do not work. And what I've come to realize is sometimes the timing is the reason they don't work. I don't know why that takes place, but I've had several situations where I've had the code and I've had the ability to hold my phone up and it should open the door, and neither of them would work. Now, luckily, there are some nice people who will let you in, and they don't mind letting you in. As long as you have a package on you, they'll be like, okay, you're just delivering a package. It's not a big deal. But there are some cases where they won't let you in. They'll see you. They'll be like, nah, not going to let you in. Your code's not working. You need to figure out something else. And if there's no building manager or anybody there, then there's no one you can go to. So in that case, you're going to have to put the package back in your car, hit the button on your phone, and you're going to have to move on to the next one, because it's going to be considered undeliverable. And trust me, this does happen. We don't know why it happens. It'll work for some people and won't work for other people. And they'll say, well, I don't know why it didn't work for you, because it worked for me. But it definitely does happen. And that leads me to my number 8. And my number 8 is undeliverable packages. So once you run into these situations and you have undeliverable packages, and it may not even be a gate code, it may just be you can't find a safe place to put it, or sometimes the address is wrong, which does happen as well. Not as often, but it does happen. But you still have their packages in your car. And in order for you to receive payment, you have to take that package back to the hub that you got it from. So even if that's out of your way, and say you're right by your house and you could just go home, well, now you're going to have to run all the way back to the hub. You're going to have to give them that package. You're going to tell them why it was undeliverable. And then you're still going to receive your payment, but if you don't take that package back, they'll hold your payment until they receive that package. They want that package back the same day that you were supposed to have delivered it. So for whatever reason you didn't deliver it, they want that package back. So again, thank you for tuning in. I'm Frankie. Please like or subscribe and come back and visit.